Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker. Well, guys, I have to reiterate this, but communication can make or break a deal. I had the unfortunate pleasure of witnessing this blow up in my face this week. You see, I have two friends, both of them are in business, and the businesses are complementary. So I said, well, it would be great for the two of them to connect. They would make a lot of money together. Well, unfortunately, things did not go off as planned. You see, they did not speak first face to face or even over the phone. They were speaking via text message. And what happens, guys, is this, and it's not just them, many other people. When you are texting people that you don't know, you got to be extra careful because a tone a lot of times is assigned to the other person, even though neither one of them know each other. The only person that they know is me, and that's it, right? And another thing, too, I got to say, if a friend refers you to someone else, don't be too comfortable with the person they referred you to, because you're still not on the same level. You're still two strangers, even though you have that common friend in the middle. All right. So here we go. We're going to start from the top. So one friend, she says, "Hi, my name is, I was referred to you by," and then she says my name, right? So his response was K. Pause. Let's stop right there. That's what I mean by too comfortable. It always, especially when it's a text message, always say, "Oh, nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you. I'm excited about bringing our businesses together. How can I help you? What do you have coming up? What do you need help or assistance with?" That would have been a better response. It's a much longer response, but that extra is needed when you're speaking to someone that you don't know, that you've never met before, who is a potential client. Okay. And then later, her response was, "I need X, Y, and Z." So later, the person responds back, "Excuse me?" And the person that responded back that way was under a lot of pressure and was multitasking, which I understand. But he said, "Excuse me, who are you again?" But unfortunately, that's how he talks. But unfortunately, that's not how my other friend read the text message. She read it completely different with a completely different tone. She read it like, "Excuse me? Who are you?" She read it like that. Like he would have said it with an attitude, but he would not have said it that way. See, that's what I mean by you got to be careful when you respond to people or when you speak to people via text message. And this could have been an email too. Either way, you have to use extra words to express yourself when you're typing, as opposed to when you're speaking to a person one on one. And unfortunately, after that particular statement, the conversation went completely left. Okay. It went to the moon, to Uranus, It hit like almost all of the planets except for Venus and the sun, and then came back and landed. And then, I'm the one that put them together, was trying to put them together, and I felt a little bad about what occurred. So when I addressed the other person who was, deeply offended, I could understand why she wasn't happy with the response. She said that the reason why she went in was because she wanted the other person to know that what they did was very unacceptable and very unprofessional. Okay, but here's the problem. She never said specifically what was unprofessional. I know what it was, but he didn't know. And she never let him explain. So it was insult after insult after insult. Here's the thing. If you want somebody to understand and get the message that what they did or how they treated you was wrong, you got to be specific and say, I didn't like how you said this, the tone you used. You know, you could have said, it would have been better to say that, so then this way it would have been cleared up. But when you start throwing insults, then people get defensive, and then things blow up and can get very ugly very quickly. So I did,
Still
a
can't
little bit of
decide
Inspector
between
Gadget work, but I'm not doing,
this
I'm not going too deep with this. But I'm just letting you
or
guys
this.
know, like, this, I feel could have been saved. This whole deal could have definitely worked out and been beautiful for both of them. But unfortunately, because of communication, things went down. And also, when you want somebody to learn something, you see, and you start insulting them, what do? They immediately think that there's something wrong with you, instead of saying, oh, I did something wrong. Let me correct and fix this. Because I had to explain what went wrong, what was the issue. I had to explain that. And the other person would not have gotten mad if I had done that. You know, I can't unfortunately be on every single phone call, text message, etc. I can't, to monitor my friends like this. Unfortunately, I think if I was there, I think a deal would have went through. But anyway, it is what it is. What happened happened. Things between the two are better, but they agree that they are not going to be doing business together, and that's just the way it is. Um, but I'm bringing this to the forefront just to let you guys know, you got to really be extra careful when it comes to the written word as opposed to the spoken word. Because see, when people are speaking to you, even there's a difference. There's a difference between if I'm speaking to a person and I'm looking at them in their face, because they hear the words coming out of my mouth, but then they can also see my self expression, right? To determine if the words coming out of my mouth are genuine or not. When it's on the phone, they hear the words more than pay attention to the physical, because they can't see you physically. But when they are speaking to you on the phone, yes, they do hear a tone, and they know better what type of tone you normally use when you say certain words. And they know, okay, whenever this person calls, if they use a term, or even if they don't call, but if they text, if they use a certain tone, I'm going to always attach that tone to whatever email they send out or to whatever text message sent out, because I already built rapport with that person, even if it was just that one time. But when you do text messaging, it's a to someone you don't know, to a stranger, that it's a totally different ballpark. It's a totally different ballpark, because you don't know, they don't know you, you don't know them. Um, Sometimes the tone that they associate with what you said may be because the person that they dealt with before you, right before you, was a particular way. So they're using the previous person's tone on you as opposed to the tone you would use. You understand me? So that's why you got to just be very, very, very careful, because honestly, this was $1 million deal that blew up. It exploded beyond belief. I was like, wow, wow, wow. I was so upset. Ooh, it still bothers me. It still bothers me. But I believe, luckily I saved my friendships. We're all still friends. Um, those two, of course, they're not friends with each other, but if we were ever to like go somewhere, I know that they would be cordial. And if they won't, I will definitely beat them up. But yes, I believe that everything will be okay in the end. So, guys, that's really all I have to share with you. Um, it's, like everybody says before, it's not always what you say, but it's how you say, but it's also how people interpret what you say. And that's what we got to be careful of, because in this day and time, we don't want to be losing deals, especially deals that, can be extremely profitable. All right. That's it. Please feel free to share this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.